If you buy a bottle of vinegar in a Brazilian supermarket, the law guarantees you're getting a specific chemical ratio. It dictates there must be at least 4 grams of acetic acid in every 100 milliliters. But imagine you're the quality control inspector tasked with verifying that standard. A sealed bottle arrives on your desk, filled with a perfectly clear liquid. Looking at it tells you absolutely nothing about the chemical makeup inside. You obviously can't test acidity by tasting it. Relying on your tongue gives you 0 numerical data, and putting random lab chemicals in your mouth is a terrible idea. So you're stuck with a very real physical problem. How do you precisely measure an invisible substance dissolved completely within a transparent liquid? The solution relies on indirect measurement. Since you can't see the acid, you force it to react with a chemical you do know and measure exactly how much of that known substance gets consumed. Chemists use this setup: a tall, numbered glass tube, a burette, suspended over a small flask. We fill the top tube with a known concentration of caustic soda. Down in the bottom flask, those exactly 10 milliliters of our unknown sample, the supermarket vinegar. Then we add the critical ingredient, 2 drops of a chemical indicator, like phenolphthalein. It stays completely invisible as long as it's swimming in acid, but the moment the acid runs out, it turns bright pink. We are watching a 1-to-1 chemical battle. Every single particle of soda that drops from the top will seek out and perfectly neutralize exactly 1 particle of acid in the bottom. That means if we carefully count the amount of soda falling out of the top tube, we are mathematically counting the hidden acid particles in the bottom flask. The test begins by opening the tap. We let the known sonshu thaw slowly, strictly drop by drop. Where the drop hits the vinegar, a swirl of pink instantly appears. But it quickly vanishes because there is still plenty of unneutralized acid left in the flask to overpower the color. A drop falls, it turns pink, the pink disappears. The cycle repeats, particle by particle, slowly exhausting the acid supply. Then comes a single, final drop. The entire flask turns a pale pink, and this time the color stays. The acid is entirely depleted. Chemists call this exact moment the ponto de viragem, or the turning point. Looking at this balancing equation, the math is straightforward. The scientist reads the exact volume of liquid missing from the top tube. Because we know the concentration of the soda, that missing volume instantly tells us the exact number of moles consumed, which perfectly equals the exact number of acid moles in the flask. Without using a physical scale, we successfully weighed an invisible substance. This technique of measuring by volume is called titration, titration. This photograph shows an assembly line mass-producing thousands of bottles of vinegar. To guarantee their legal quality, this exact drop-by-drop process runs constantly. This same logic applies to this massive municipal water treatment plant, calculating the precise chemicals required to keep drinking water safe for an entire city. Here, a lab technician inspects wine samples. The beverage industry relies heavily on this technique, checking the acidity of their products to prevent spoilage. Behind every facility that processes and sells a liquid, this exact volumetric logic is working daily to protect the consumer. The math behind titration only works because we understand how solvents and solutes interact to form solutions and suspensions. To get to this point, we discovered solubility limits and plotted them on curves. We learned to read concentration rulers, tracking mixtures in grams per liter, molarity, and parts per million. Learning how to manipulate those mixtures and calculate dilutions gave you the exact tools needed to master the burette and volumetric analysis. But mastering these measurements opens up a new set of everyday mysteries. Consider this. Why does adding salt to a pot of water make it take longer to boil? Or why does the sugar in a popsicle prevent it from freezing solid like pure ice? The answer is that adding solutes actively interferes with the physical properties of the solvent. Chemists call this phenomenon propiedades coligativas, colligative properties, and it is exactly where our next journey begins.